Hello everybody, my name is Sally-Ann Spence and we are here at the paleontological dig based at Court Farm in the Cotswolds. Now this is day 6 of a 2-week dig and we've got various people taking part. We've got lots of students here and we've got experts coming in as well. And one of those is with me right now. This is Steve Etches. Hi Steve.
Hi.
Now Steve, I'm very honoured to be an ambassador of your collection. Can you please tell everybody who's watching this what the
collection is about? The Etches Collection. Okay, so it's a museum. The collection is collected mainly by myself over the last 40 years, and it's always a problem when you collect material. What are you going to do with it? The same as this material here, you put it in a museum. Well, the trouble is with my material is the fact that a lot of it is an unstable metallurgical mineral called iron pyrites, some of that, and the local museums could not curate it to that high level. So the other thing was, and I was told by actually the museum's advisor to actually sell the collection because museums are a waste of time. Ooh. And anyhow, it didn't take his advice, but literally the only thing I could do was really to try and form a museum myself. So 10 years ago, it came into being through a lot of luck and a lot of people who've helped, and a lot of people are still helping now to keep this thing going. Because naturally, we don't have any government grants. We don't. All we get as our revenue is actually through people coming through the door and what they spend in the shop.
So this is something you can visit. It's open to the public. It's based near Kimmeridge, isn't it? Dorset coast.
Yep. So it's well,
very much Jurassic based as well.
It's Kimmeridge. The whole thing. Yeah, I didn't say that. The whole thing is Kimmeridge clay material. So and people say, well, what did you collect that? Because the Jurassic on the Dorset coast is so rich. You've got West Dorset, Liassic fossils, brilliant. Because when I started collecting it, naturally going to the museums for information, the provenance and the information with Kimmeridge material was poor, even in the major museums. And I decided then I would sort of collect it. But looking through a museum handbook, British Mesozoic Fossils Handbook, in the preface it described the whole suite of Jurassic rocks, came to the Kimmeridge clay and made the statement, which I'm always pleased to say, the Kimmeridge clay is the least interesting to the British fossil collector. And on that basis I thought, right, we'll make sure that's not so. So 40 years, we've got soft part preservation, we've got 17 new described species, we're still finding new material, and it's forming now a nucleus where people like Simon Carpenter, who's collected some fantastic material from the Kimmeridge clay, is actually donated his material to the collection here. We put it on show. He thinks it's the safest, best place. The curatorial standards are much higher than most museums, so on that basis we've got a really good collection. They're fantastic.
It is a well recognised collection, to be honest with you, because you have students from all over the world coming to it, don't you?
That's true, yeah.
It's quite impressive. So do go and visit the museum, the Etches Collection. But Steve, we've got a machine working a little further over the other side. Now, Steve, you are obviously a bit of a specialist on a Jurassic marine environment.
Yep. With
your work you've done with the Kimmeridge clay. What do you make of what we're seeing here?
Totally different. Okay, so mine is all sedimentary mudstones and shales and occasional limestones. This, look at it, it's in a sort of a marl, a clay, or whatever you want to call it, and you've got these nodules all on one bedding plane. And so I'm led to believe all these nodules contain organic material. So you get already, for those times you've been here, you get fish, some excellent preserved fish, some of it 3D, aptekai, jaw apparatus of ammonites, and beautifully preserved as well. Squid material, these belemnothutids. In point of fact, what really gobsmacked me, we're looking at the stuff that's been collected in the past, was the set of the arm hooks, and when they're magnified, they're fantastic, the detail on them. So again, I think Jakob Winter came yesterday and said, well, if you really look for this, you might even find actually the jaw apparatus of these things as well, So there's so much more. Look, what you're going to find, this is a whole new spectrum of collecting. It is.
And these nodules, I mean, we've even got a couple. Emily's doing our videoing. Emily, can you just show people the nodule shape in front of you? I mean, that's rather excitingly fish shaped, but that doesn't mean there's a fish in there, does it?
No, but every nodule contains something fossilised, which is great. The diversity is fantastic, and you got to look at it is how do these nodules form? Because they're all on bedding plate. You know what I mean? It's not just like a concretion. It's layers that's cemented together. So I was saying to how do these form? Round organic material, but it's an interesting.
Well, we did a little video earlier on. Do look at our videos. We Dig Fossils is our YouTube channel, but there's a piece of wood that was uncovered as well, quite a decent chunk of wood. I mean, we've talked about the fact that that would have come from the land, washed out
Yeah,
into the sea
got
and everything else.
waterlogged.
Would that potentially have things on it as well that we could
Well,
find?
you could do, yeah, because some of my best finds have actually been what's attached to wood. Because I think these wood floats across the ocean, and stuff lives on it and under it and round it. You know what I mean? And then gradually it gets waterlogged, and whatever's living on it gets carried down on the seafloor. And often you find stuff attached to the woods as well. Yeah. So it's fantastic. And what's really impressed here is the fact people from all walks of life have come here to actually take part in it.
This is a really exciting thing. We've got 5 different universities represented here. We've got students that have come from all over the parts of the world, and as I said, people like yourself visiting. It is exceptional because it's not only the taking part, and it's quite hard to find a paleontological dig to take part in, it's also the learning process that people are having while they're on this whole experience.
Well, my team, all they do is work on computers. I tell you, this is completely different.
Have you got them hard at work?
Yeah,
have you?
you must film it because that's it's fantastic.
So Steve's come with some of the stuff from his museum, which she's and your daughter as well, I think. Haven't
Yeah,
you?
she hated fossil collecting one.
Yeah.
I should take her.
And you've given her a spade as well, a shovel.
No, she's done it herself. She gets on. It's fine.
That's great. So this is what's happening on the dig today, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Well, it's nice to be here, and it's so friendly, everyone. Brilliant.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for giving us a bit of an insight as well to yet again another unusual point in the Jurassic time period. So this is 180 to about 184, that sort of time, million years ago. I'm just trying to think, your Kimmeridge shells are similar time.
157, 152.
Right.
Around that 5 million year period, yeah. Upper Jurassic.
Upper Jurassic. So this is Lower Jurassic, and the Kimmeridge shell is about the Upper Jurassic. So go and visit the Etches Collection, learn a lot more. The specimens there are exceptional. In fact, you've got a rather exciting. Can we mention that? Can we talk about something else? Come on, tell us about this.
Which one?
The really big thing.
Oh, that long thing that lives on the land.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Allosaurus, a skeleton, 71% complete. The nice thing is, this is a lovely story to this, is the fact that we get lots of schools come through, which education, he's down there digging. We have 100 schools a year coming, and one of the daughters said, "Oh, my father owns a dinosaur." Oh, yeah. And they only live locally, and he approached us because I didn't know, he had it on display at Southampton in some big shopping centre or something. And he approached us, said, "Look, I'd really love it on the Jurassic coast. Do you think you would like it?" Well, what do you mean, would we like it? Well, you can have it as long as you like. I don't want anything for it. You just insure it. I said, yeah. So we've got that in our village hall. So the village has now got less of a village hall, but very impressive thing. And it's actually really good if you study taphonomy and stuff like that, because you can see the injuries on it. You see where the bones have been broken, new bones grown over. Fantastic thing. And for kids, and it's the same age. It's from the Morrison Formation, I think, Montana. Roughly the same age, so it's terrestrial, against marine.
Because that's another thing about your museum, is that you've also got public space. You refer to it as a village hall, but it genuinely is a public space, isn't it, within the museum?
We knew that, yeah. We didn't get the money from the lottery because it was village hall. They wouldn't give it for that, so it was called a learning centre.
The learning centre.
There you go.
The learning centre. And then I have to ask you about the other large thing, of which you've got the skull on display in the museum.
Yeah, we got the skull. That's an interesting thing. A lot of people from all over the world come to see that. You had one guy from Tasmania solely come to see that. And at the time, we just got it open, but we had the wrong temporary sort of cover on it, and it didn't look any good. And I said, "Oh, it's a shame you're here, come all that way." I said, "Because Friday we're putting the new top on." "Oh, stay." So he stayed, just to film that. So yeah, so the thing is with that, yes, tremendous interest in it. But the rest of the skeleton's in the cliff still. So we're raising a fund now. We've got, I think, up to 470,000 already. We need a little bit more. And then next May or June, we'll have the same thing going on there to dig 25 metres of cliff off.
So this is a Pliosaur. We haven't actually mentioned what it is. It's a Pliosaur, isn't it? Yeah. Can you explain what a Pliosaur is?
Right, Pliosaur is a marine reptile, rather like a Pliosaur, same barrel-shaped body, 4 flippers, short neck, and a blooming great head.
It has. It's loads of teeth, a top predator.
Yeah, the top of the food chain. It's described in literature as the largest carnivorous reptile that ever lived. Now, they've just got one that's just come out of the Oxfordian synthesis of one that's massive, probably a 3-metre skull. So they grew pretty big. Yeah. And the nice thing is with the Kimmeridgian ones, their teeth are trihedral. So when they bite into bone, they leave a very distinctive bite mark, unsurpassed. So we've got another Pliosaur skull, which is 1.6 metres long, with the biggest bite marks in the back of the jaw you've ever seen. Wow. Through another Pliosaur.
So the skull you've got is nearly 2 meters long, isn't it?
1.9, something like
Right,
that. Yeah.
and that's not a fully grown animal by.
Well, who knows? Because again,
Would it be a different species though? So it could be, I don't know. It's
male,
a
female.
huge skull.
Sorry.
It's a huge skull.
Yeah, but it's got a big crest. So is that a sort of dimorphic thing? Is that a male characteristic? We don't know, because these pliosaurs we've got from that formation is the youngest in the Jurassic ever found. Wow. So interestingly, I don't want to go into too much detail, but the propodials show a distinct difference between the humerus and the femur. Now, earlier on in the Kimmeridge clay, there are slight differences, but not that great as we see now. But when we look in the Cretaceous from, say, Mexico or pliosaurs from there, they show the same characteristics. So these things are ongoing and evolving, you know.
So can you just tell people the time period, how many million years ago?
Right, the Kimmeridge clay, 157 to 152 million years ago, that 5 million year period.
So this is an exceptional skull because it's virtually complete and articulated.
Yeah, the jaws are locked together, so yeah.
So and hopefully we will be seeing the rest of its body at some point. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully some of you guys might be there helping us.
Yeah,
so.
that would be fantastic. Yeah. So, as I said, I'll say it again, go and visit the Etches Collection. It's well worth going to. If you're into your paleontology, which presumably you are if you're watching this particular video, you know, go and see this collection. It is exceptional. The quality of preservation and the specimens you've got on display are absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for joining us, Steve.
Right. Pleasure.
And keep watching. As I said, our YouTube is We Dig Fossils and the hashtag is fossil fishing.